Happy New Year to all of you. As traditional among us Filipinos, before and during New Year, many people consult fortune tellers, self-proclaimed prophets, and feng shui experts who come out with many predictions about the future. These so-called prophets seem to have supernatural and psychic powers to foretell what to expect this coming year. You know, there was a time when the word prophet applied only to us human beings. Well, not anymore. I read in one international magazine that a cat, yes, a cat in China named Badi An-er correctly predicted the outcome of 6 games in the 2018 Football World Cup, which was held in Russia. Before a game began, the cat was offered 2 bowls of food representing 2 competing teams. Badi An-er always chose the team that would eventually win. So the cat became very popular in the social media. Unfortunately, before it could make more predictions, it fell sick and died. Perhaps a victim of COVID pandemic, the onset of which the cat was not able to predict. In Hokkaido, Japan, an octopus named Rubio correctly predicted the outcome of 3 football matches played by Japan in the same World Cup tournament. But the owner of this octopus did not regard the psychic abilities of Rubio as something profitable. So what did he do? He sold it and was promptly turned into a delicious sashimi. Another sea creature named Octopus Paul, swimming in an aquarium in the western German city of Oberhausen, accurately picked the winners of 8 games during the World Cup football tournament held in South Africa in 2010. Octopus Paul became a worldwide sensation. A Facebook site was opened exclusively for its fans and detractors alike. The former exalting Paul's prophesying powers, the latter simply wishing to cook and eat this octopus. Although Octopus Paul died a few months after the World Cup in 2010, in the succeeding 2014 World Cup, Paul was featured in a Google Doodle that showed it lazily resting on a bed of clouds in heaven with a halo on its head. The social media has canonized Octopus Paul. You know, ancient prophets and self-proclaimed seers foretell the future by looking at the planets, constellations, the palm of our hands, the entrails of a sheep, a crystal ball, or simply shuffling tarot cards. Contemporary scientists also play the prophet by using mathematics and computers. They hope to predict the occurrence of earthquakes, tsunamis, the rise and fall of the stock market. But despite their sophisticated computations and equipment, these scientists working in this field admit that it is extremely difficult to foretell future calamities and disasters. In short, their computers and their mathematical computations only afford them educated guesses with no guarantee of accuracy. In contrast, the cat Badian-er, the octopus Rubio, and octopus Paul accurately picked the winners in football games by simply eating their favorite food. These sea creatures and the cats remind us that despite the exponential increase in scientific discoveries and technology, there are many things that defy our ability to predict the future. Sometimes, our pride in our scientific achievements blind us to the fact that our knowledge is infinitely less than the sum total of our ignorance. Badian-er, the cat, and the octopus Rubio and Paul also remind us that there is still a lot to learn from fishes, animals, and other creatures whom we regard merely as only fit to be used, abused, killed, or eaten. So, my dear friends, if during this new year you want to know the future of our economy, the winning number in the next lotto draw, or if you want to be certain whether or not you will find your Prince Charming this year, or pass the board exam, or hit it big in your startup business, instead of asking the feng shui experts and tarot card readers, ask your cat, ask your dog, or the fish in your aquarium. My point is, there is no use trying to determine what our future will be. After all, the future is not a finished product that will come to us from nowhere. The future is what we make it to be. We build our future now. The trouble is, we do not want to work on it because we're too afraid of uncertainty. We want to be sigurado. We are all siguristas. We want a future that will not shock, disappoint, or surprise us. We are very much afraid of uncertainty. But you know, my dear brothers and sisters, uncertainty is not something to be feared. Rather, it must be embraced with the firm conviction that everything will work out all right because there is someone greater than we who is in control, and He seeks only what is good for us. Isn't it tragic that because of our refusal to accept events as they happen, our life becomes a continual series of beautiful events that we fail to experience? I remember the bride who went on a crash diet before her wedding day. She wanted to be thin enough so she could get into her expensive wedding gown. So 3 days before the wedding, she refused to eat. On her wedding day, she was really marvelous to behold. Her body fit perfectly with her fabulous gown. But during the marriage ceremony, which I officiated, she repeatedly fainted because of hunger. Isn't that tragic? Her wedding day happened, a beautiful event, but she was not there, body and soul, to experience it. So instead of obsessing about the future, let us focus rather on every moment, every day that happens to us during 2024. You know, every day can be a celebration of God's unconditional love for us. We don't need to consult feng shui experts to experience that love. In the book of Psalms, we read, "Open wide your mouth, and I will fill it." This is what happens when we prayerfully trust God in everything. We open wide our hearts so God can come and fill it. Being uncertain can also bring us to a moment of truth when we realize how superficial our dreams and hopes for the future are. How shallow our happiness. How insignificant our fears and worries. When we give up our unrealistic expectations and demands, this coming 2024 will be filled with joy because we know, we believe that even if we do not know the future, we believe in a God who holds the future in His hand.